So Xiaomi is one of those brands that is really synonymous with the Indian mobile phone sector. It has one of the largest share in the Indian mobile phone segment, and it has recently launched its laptop as well. Welcome to Business World. I'm your host Siddharth, and on today's edition of BWTechTalks, we have Mr. Manu Jain, Managing Director, MI India, with us. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks for hosting me.
So, Mr. Manu, tell us, the COVID pandemic has brought out a lot of new things for the technology sector. The technology sector has become essential. So now phones, computers, and a lot of other things have just become a major part of our lives. So, and MI India has also got into computers. So How has the whole pandemic affected your business operations, in the positive way, in the negative way, whichever?
6 months ago, if you would have asked me this question, I would have probably given a very optimistic answer, but generally speaking, we didn't know what will happen over the next few months. There was a lot of uncertainty around how do we operate business, whether we will be able to operate our factories or not, whether we will be able to open our thousands of stores across the country or not. So there are a lot of questions in our mind, and whether there will be consumer demand or not. So let me just work backwards and tell you how things have shaped up in the last 6 months. The good news about our industry is we are seeing an unprecedented demand, all-time high demand for a lot of connected devices, not just smartphones, but all connected devices. And the reason is very simple, because all of us are working from home. You are working from home. I am working from home. We are recording these videos from our respective homes. Students are studying from home, and hence a lot of people need new devices to stay connected. Earlier, if there was a kid, say 10 to 12-year-old kid, who could use parents' smartphone from time to time for playing games or being online. Now, because the kid is studying, needs a separate dedicated device. At my home only, we have bought more than 2 additional laptops since COVID-19 started, or since the lockdown started, right? So similarly, a lot of people need new devices to stay connected. People are at home, people are playing a lot more games, watching content, so they need new smartphones. People are watching OTT content, so they need new smart TVs. People are studying from home, working from home, so they need new laptops. So overall, the demand for a lot of these connected devices, whether it is smartphones, smart TVs, laptops, and many more, they've increased dramatically over last 6 months. And we're seeing many new consumer segments coming in. Like, for example, I give an example of students coming in. So these 10, 12, 15-year-old students, kids who never had a smartphone or a laptop, they now are beginning to own a basic smartphone or a basic laptop. And hence that's a new consumer segment which is emerging. So we're seeing a lot of new consumer segments coming in, a lot of movement around new kind of features that people are asking for, new price points which are emerging. So across the industry, across various products categories, the overall demand is still very, very high, very strong as compared to what we were seeing in the pre-COVID world.
Sir, you have launched multiple products over the last 6 months. Despite lockdown, your product launches have not been on hold. So, what are the some products which has been a blockbuster in the process, and has there been any impact because of the COVID, because of the lockdown and all, impact on sales, or your numbers on a YOY basis have increased?
During this period, we have launched our flagship phones such as Mi 10. We have launched our mid-range phones like Note 9 Pro, Note 9 Pro Max, Note 9. We have launched our affordable phones such as Redmi 9 and 9A. As we speak today, we just launched Redmi 9i just now, like few minutes ago, while we were doing this interview. And so we've been launching a lot of these products in a digital format. And the acceptance of consumers of a digital launch event is almost same, even better than physical launch events. In fact, a lot of our journalist friends have said these digital launch events are so easy to attend that they do not want to go back to the physical launch event and traveling, which is interesting. Now, the second question is, during this period, we launched a lot of category of products. We launched our smartphones. We launched laptop for the first time in India. We launched Robo Vacuum Cleaner. During this period, we launched a new trimmer, beard trimmer, hair trimmer. We launched new fitness bands such as Mi Band. We launched TWS, True Wireless Bluetooth headset, both under the Mi brand and the Redmi brand, Redmi earbuds. And across all these product categories, I think each one of them have done very well. For example, smartphones, you already know. In Q2, we were once again the largest smartphone brand now for 3 consecutive years. Once again, we were the number one smart TV brand. We were once again the number one wearable brand. And TWS has been doing really well. If I'm not mistaken, TWS, we sold about 100,000 units or some really big number, few lakh units in a very short period of time. And if I'm not mistaken, Redmi earbuds has already become the number one selling TWS in the country. So across all these product categories, we are seeing unprecedented demand, even for laptops, because a lot of people are now buying laptops. So laptop, we are seeing very high demand. I think the only one or two small categories where we have seen the demand going down as compared to what it used to be. For example, power banks, is because people are not going out at this point of time. So people are not carrying power banks as much as they used to because they're working from home. Shoes, which is a small category for us. We also sell shoes, our Xiaomi shoes, Mi shoes on me.com. So because people are not stepping out, so people are not buying as many shoes. But these are relatively smaller categories for us. If you look at amongst all our big categories, including phones, TVs, laptops, beard trimmer, hair trimmer, fitness band, we are seeing all-time high demand. On some of the smaller categories, yes, there's been some softening of demand. Now, the big focus area for us has been how do we ramp up quickly, because our India factories are still facing a lot of issues, concern. COVID number of cases are still very high. So how do we ramp up in a very safe environment for all our team members is the biggest challenge that we are facing at this point of time. But from a demand perspective, we are seeing very strong demand.
My question is, will there be any product below this? You said, if I can quote you, you have been quoted as saying that you are approaching the hinterland, you're approaching the countryside. You tier 2, tier 3 cities are your next growth drivers. So why not go for a product below this 5A and cater to the masses?
This is the phone that we just launched about 2 weeks ago. This is called as Redmi 9M. And you can see this is my primary phone. 9A. Like you have 5A, this is 9A. And I'm using this as one of my primary devices. I always use 100% of phones that we launch in India. I use all of them by default. And this is 9A that we are selling. So this is our lowest price phone right now, around 6,500 rupees, between 6,500 and 7,000 rupees. Okay. And then the most expensive phone is our Mi 10, which is starting at 50,000 rupees. So from 6 to 7,000 rupees starting price point, all the way to 50,000 and above, we have a phone or a product for almost every single price segment, depending upon what your requirements are. Now, when we launched 5A, the phone that you own, since then, a lot of things have changed from then and now. I'll tell you the things which have changed. One, the GST increased by 50%, from 12% to 18%. Dollar in last few years has gone up significantly. Of course, last few months have been pretty good. But if you look at overall, in last few years, it has gone up a lot. And then while we manufacture all our phones, more than 99%, almost 100% of our phones we locally manufacture. But a lot of raw material also comes from abroad. And a lot of component buying still happens, whether you buy it locally or internationally, still happens in US dollar. So, and on many of these raw material that we buy from abroad, the import duties have been increased on many of these. So given a lot of these parameters, the price point that we used to hit earlier is no longer possible. In any case, a lot of things have been upgraded since then. Like if you look at the screen size versus then and now, it's significantly bigger. It's 6.5 inch. We have our drop notch now. We have an edge-to-edge display. We have a much bigger battery. We have a 10 watt fast charging. We have an AI camera. So a lot of things have also been upgraded. Plus earlier, our entry point 6 years ago used to be 1 GB, 8 GB, 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB of storage. And then it became 2 GB, 16 GB. Now the minimum storage that we provide is 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. So a lot of things we have also upgraded from processor, camera and everything. And the aim is still to provide for A series, which is Redmi A series, is to provide a smartphone for everyone, Desh ka smartphone, so that everybody can buy a smartphone. Now, the simple test that we have is, can we make a phone cheaper than this? Of course we can. At like say 4,000, 5,000 rupees. But is that a phone where we believe we can provide a true smartphone experience? Maybe no. There's a very simple philosophy at the company. Since we're a product-driven company, every product that we launch, all of us in the leadership team, including me, have to use it as a primary device for some time. only if we can use it is when we can sell it. Because it's very unfair, right? We say it is a smartphone for you, or it's a device for you, but I will not use it. That's not the philosophy that we have. So everyone, if we make a phone which is inferior than this, I don't think I will be able to use it as my primary device. And since I can't use it as my primary device, I will not be willing to sell it to other consumers. And this is a phone that I'm using as my primary device, Redmi 9A. And I would be happy to recommend it to anybody. I can only recommend it to people when I'm confident there's a good device, when I've used it myself. So it's a very simple test that we have. And since we believe we can't provide a better experience or like a good enough experience to our consumers, at a lower configuration than this, we will not try and hit that particular price point.
Right, Mr. Manu, a lot of things from there. Xiaomi is known for its budget phones, which are very good in their category, in user experience, the software, everything. But let's talk about Mi 10. Now that is the flagship device. But so how has the response been to the Mi 10? I know the phone is really good. It has a lot of features, good camera, and obviously the MIUI software. So how has the response been to Mi 10? And did you face any challenges there? Do you think a flagship device is important for Xiaomi?
Is all price points, including flagship, important? Yes, they are important. And we would want to, the philosophy is very simple. We want to provide a great smartphone, or not a smartphone, but a great device for all consumers at all price points in all categories. If you look at a few years ago, the above 15,000 rupee segment in India, above 15,000 rupee, which is $200, used to be only 10%. Over a period of time, the average price point of the smartphones have grown, and a lot of people have started buying that 15,000, 15 to 20,000 rupee. Now, above 20,000 rupee price point, the market is only 10%. And if you look at above 30,000 rupee, out of the 10%, only 3-4% of the market is above 30,000 rupee, right? Majority of the market, value of the market is still below 20,000 rupee. And because we wanted to ensure that we're providing a smartphone for everyone, so of course, from a volume perspective, from a business perspective, it made sense to focus a lot more here on this segment and only do few devices above 20,000-30,000. However, as we speak, what we have noticed is that two things. One, of course, a lot of customers are upgrading. Like people come and buy a Redmi device, then they buy a Redmi Note device, which is like around 12, 15, 20,000 rupee. And then they want to also buy a above 20,000 rupee device or above 30,000 rupee device. So we want to ensure that people who are upgrading, we provide a smartphone and option to them so that they remain with Xiaomi. We don't want to lose out to our customers, right? So hence, we need to do a better job of launching a lot more devices in this price segment. Point number one. Point number two, the number of devices in this price segment will never be as many as number of devices in the lower price segment. Also because the innovation, like the most difficult phones to make are the highest end phone and the lowest end phone. To be honest, like all the phones in the mid one are relatively easier because in high end, you're looking at the highest technology innovation. They're trying to bring the latest and the best. And the lowest end, you're trying to hit a certain price point and you're like trying to work very hard to ensure that everything is streamlined and everything is fully optimized for that particular BOM, right? On the high end, can we launch too many phones? I don't think we can launch too many phones because the technology is not even like changing every week, or like people are not looking for something like radically different every week. People just want the latest and the best technology at that price point. And so based on how we get new chipsets, new camera modules, new way of charging, a lot of new screen type, etc. That innovation doesn't happen like every week, every fortnight. Like it happens over a period of few months or maybe a year, right? So we will continue to launch flagships over there. I think one thing that we have not done a good job is communicating about how well some of our flagships have performed in India. And because we are the number one brand today, we have about 33% market share, which means if there are 3 phones sold in India, 1 out of 3 is a Xiaomi phone. And because we talk about such big numbers, like tens of millions of phones being sold every quarter, if you talk about a flagship number, because the market segment itself is so small, that number will not be big enough. So we never end up talking about those big numbers, and hence usually that's a communication problem that we need to solve and do a better job of. Usually people think that because we're doing so well in affordable segment or mid-premium segment, that maybe our flagships are not doing well. And it's a mistake that we have done, we have not spoken too much about it. But for example, Poco F1, 2 years ago when we launched, it was the best selling phone above 20,000 rupee in India for 6 months. Last year we launched K20, K20 Pro, and then I was reading a news article recently which showed like how for few quarters, maybe 2 quarters or something, it was the best selling phone above 20,000 rupee or in a particular price point, 20 to 40,000 rupee price point. And then we never spoke about it, right? And this is across online, offline, all price points put together. K20 Pro is still selling like a very decent volume. It would be probably one of the top 5 phones selling in that particular price segment, right? Even after a year, I'm saying. But we have never done a good job of communicating this as much as we do about communicating overall our big numbers. So that's a mistake. So maybe we need to do a better job of communicating it to you guys and through you to all our Mi fans that our mid-premium segment and premium segment does equally well as much as what are some of our budget phones do.
So my point here is software is one part of it. Hardware is one part of it. Hardware, a lot of companies are there, but software, I think, is a main part of selling an experience. And
Yes.
MI phones have a great software. So now, how important is software for you? And my next question is about ecosystem. So now ecosystem is also important for a manufacturer because you are into TWS, you are into other the smart band, the fitness band. So how important is ecosystem for a manufacturer like you?
So MIUI, interestingly, the first product that we built as a company was MIUI, even before we launched the first phone. I don't know if you know this. Even before Mi 1 was launched, Mi 1 was the first phone that we launched. Even before Mi 1 was launched, we launched MIUI. And MIUI still continues to remain one of the most integral part of who we are. Because if you really think about this, right, at heart, we are a software internet company more than anything else. Of course, we sell hardware, but the way that we think about this, hardware is a way to acquire customers. And then we need to continue providing services to these consumers from a long-term perspective. And that's a basic philosophy difference between most of the other hardware companies and us. Most of the other hardware companies, when they sell a hardware to you, their work is completed. Apart from providing after-sales service, like they've done the job, they've designed a product, they've made a product, they've sold it to you, and they've made a profit. We make less than 5% profit margin. In fact, if you look at last year, 2019, and now we're a public company, so you can look at all our public records, right? If I'm not mistaken, we made like 1% or less than 1% on hardware, our profit margin across the world, including India, China, rest of the world, everything put together, we made like 1% or less than 1% hardware margin. So we make very wafer thin hardware margins, and the aim is to make money from internet services. So our job is only half done once we sell the phone or the TV to you, because then we have to continue working hard in providing internet services to you, including music, including content, including many other things. Take an example of TVs, right? I'll just give a very simple example because that's more easy to explain. So we have our own OS called as Patchwall. So it's an Android TV. So you can also go to stock Android on our TVs, but you can also go to Patchwall, right? And in Patchwall, we have like 7-8 lakh or maybe 1 million hours of content available over there, right? And majority of that, about 90% of that is free. And then you can do a lot of really cool stuff over there. But I don't know if you know this, a lot of apps like Hotstar is a partner, right? And we show all the Hotstar content in our Patchwall. And every Friday Hotstar has this movie release, which is first shown on MeTV consumers. They get an early access of few hours before anybody else in Hotstar gets that access. Or when you go to MeTV, switch on your MeTV or Patchwall, you see what some of the celebrities are watching. You can also watch the same content. Or you can see like a lot of other really cool things, like if you are basically searching for a movie, we will show you like different apps, different OTT contents which have that movie. And so you can pick and choose like from where you want to watch, right? So a lot of really cool features that we have built. And we are building this not only for new users who are buying this, but also for a lot of users who bought TV 1 year, 2 years ago, right? Because we are upgrading all of them to the latest version of Patchwall. Similarly, for MIUI, we will be upgrading MIUI 12. We just released MIUI 12, which has a lot of cool features, right? And we will be upgrading, bringing MIUI 12 to a large number of devices. Whosoever hardware, like whichever device the hardware will allow MIUI 12, right? Devices launches 2 years, 3 years ago, all those will be upgraded to MIUI 12. So our effort will be to ensure that we provide the latest and the best software experience on TVs, on our phones, on a lot of devices to everyone. So this is very important for us. because this really defines who we are, right? So that's point number one. Point number two, to IoT ecosystem. Again, that is something which is very important. The way that we think about our business is, if you look at our hardware business, leaving aside MIUI for a time being, there are 3 or 4 categories of products. First, and the most core category is the smartphone. And then around smartphone, there are other devices like headphones, Bluetooth headphones, TWS, power banks, chargers, cables, cases, covers. A lot of these devices, products which you will use along with a smartphone, right? Typically, they're used with a smartphone. That's the first category of product. Then there's a second category of products which are traditionally non-smart, but we're trying to make them smart, right? Like fitness band, like shoes, like a smart air purifier, like smart water purifier, smart lights. So these are all electronic items which already existed in the world. Like light was always there, air purifier was there, water purifier was there. But we have taken water purifier and we have made it an IoT water purifier. We have taken an air purifier, made it an IoT air purifier. So that's the third category of products. And we want to launch a lot of these. And then we have a fourth category of products beyond this, which are all lifestyle products, which are not really smart, but we are doing it because we believe our fans would need them. Like we just launched a new t-shirt. The t-shirt is not smart, right? But this is a t-shirt which has been made by extracting when you throw away plastic, right? And plastic is being wasted, right? So instead of wasting that plastic and basically being dumped somewhere, we extract some part of it and we are making t-shirts out of that plastic, right? Or like shoes, or like some like cool things that we do, like some toys for kids. These are things that we do because we know that our fans love us and they would want to have a lot of other Xiaomi products in their lives. So this is the fourth category of products. And then the aim is to make anything and everything smart over a period of time. Like the chair that I'm sitting on ideally should be a smart chair, door, curtains, everything can be made smart over a period of next 5 to 10 years. And can we play a big role in making a lot of these devices smart over a period of next few years is what the aim of the company is. So to answer your question, long answer, but short answer is that both MIUI and our IoT ecosystem are extremely important for us.
Government of India is pushing Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India really ferociously, and then they have also supported the mobile phone segment with PLI schemes. So I would like to understand Xiaomi India's roadmap for the country. What are your investments? What are your future plans? And how has the COVID impact affected these plans or not?
If you look at our Make in India journey, it started 5 years ago. So while we as a company, we've existed in India for 6 years, our Make in India journey started 5 years ago in 2015 when we launched our first Made in India phone, which was Redmi 2 Prime. And then we started manufacturing more phones. And happy to share that today, almost all our phones, more than 99% of our phones, are locally manufactured in India. They're manufactured by our partners such as Foxconn and Flex, which operate the largest factories for us. We have multiple campuses around Chennai, in Andhra Pradesh, and various parts of the country. And across all these manufacturing plants, we employ about 30,000 people. Now, I just want to clarify, like these 30,000 people are not Xiaomi employees, but these are employees of Foxconn and Flex, but they're dedicatedly working for Xiaomi because these are dedicated units and factories for Xiaomi. And if you look at the entire ecosystem, including our exclusive retail stores, including our call center, including our service centers, including our warehouses, and these 30,000 people working in factories, the total Xiaomi family today would be about 50,000 people. And the most interesting things are, if you look at factories, those 30,000 people who work, almost all of them, more than 95% of them are women. These are women who come from nearby towns, villages, women who are educated but never got a chance to work, or women who were housewives and wanted to move out but wanted to do something of their own. And they have come forward and joined these factories. And I actually think it's a phenomenal thing because when they come and work in our factories, they become so much more confident. Out of this 50,000 Xiaomi family, not even a single person has been asked to leave during this COVID period. And this is something that we thought was very important because if you really look at like people like you and me, because we earn decently well and we are well to do, even if we don't earn for a few months, it's not as if we will have existential crisis. We can still survive. But if you look at people who work in factories, like these women, or people who work in service centers or warehouses, even though our warehouses were shut down for a few months, or our service centers were shut down for a few months, if these people do not earn money, right, they will face existential crisis. They will not have food to eat. They will not have money to give for their kids' education. So we ensured that we, along with the partners, do not ask anybody to leave and pay them full salaries during this period, right? We want to ensure that over a period of time, right, almost anything and everything should be locally manufactured in the country. This is something that we are truly committed to. And this helps us in streamlining our supply chain. This helps us in reducing our working capital costs. This helps us in ensuring that we are building products in India, for India, by Indians. And this really, I believe this is one of the things which will help us succeed here in the country, like truly become part of fabric of India, right? Understand what works, what are people asking for, and build those products for people within the country. So right now, all our phones are made in India. A large number of our tier 1 components, like which go into our phones, including like 65% of those components are locally sourced or manufactured. We would want to take it to even a higher number. We would want to basically also ensure tier 2, tier 3, like all the raw material also starts coming from India over a period of time. And a lot of new products that we are launching, right? New category that we're introducing over a period of time, we would definitely want to also manufacture them in India. So from a Make in India perspective, we definitely are very bullish, and we want to ensure that all our products are locally manufactured in the country over a period of next few years.
Privacy is a big concern right now. So how are you handling this whole privacy situation with your own software?
On the data security and privacy, we take it extremely seriously, and this is something that we are very passionate about. So I'm happy to share that if you look at 2 years ago, not now, 2 years ago, we moved all our servers to India. And since then, all this information, all the data of Indian consumers has been stored in physical servers in India in AWS and Microsoft Azure. So that is something that we are truly committed to, and something that we will continue to ensure that all the data is 100% protected. It is there shouldn't be any privacy concerns from any users, right? And of course, we don't share any information, any data with any third-party services. We take it very, very seriously, right?
I would like to understand any festive season offers that you think you will be bringing out, because people are waiting to spend, because nobody is actually going out, and a lot of people are conserving money, no eating out, no movies, nothing. So people would want to spend in this festive season.
We would love to have more and more festive offers, as many as we can. Every year we have festive offers for both our partners as well as for all the consumers, so that people can enjoy this period, people can buy the best possible devices. What are those offers? To be honest, even I don't know at this point of time, because as we speak, this year the Diwali is in November mid, if I'm not mistaken, 15th or 16th of November, which means the festive sale are expected to start sometime in October. So we still have a lot, like more than a month to go. So we will continue to evaluate on what products we need to give what offer, and we will probably announce these offers sometime in October, beginning October, mid-October, and whenever the Diwali sales or the festive sales start. Right now, it will be too early for me to comment on what are these offers, but really keeping my fingers crossed that we will have some really good offers for everyone across the country, across all our devices.
So thank you, Mr. Manu, for talking to us, and it was a great, insightful conversation. Be safe and all the best for the festive season.
Thank you so much. Stay safe, guys. I hope all of us stay safe. Thank you so much.